everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
You're so good. I cannot believe that it is only the first week of January.
And we're already back in the discourse.
What happened? What happened here? We thought, new year, new me. That was not the case, clearly. We are still in hell. December 32nd did happen, and nothing is ever going to get better. No, I mean, that being said, we've had a lot of zany stuff happen in the, single week of the new year, right? We had Kanye West and Kim Kardashian are getting divorced, and there was that wild rumor that Kanye was like hooking up with Jeffree Star of all people, which is amazing because Jeffree Star is like definitely racist and it's super problematic. We also had, of course, the mini coup that we'll search back around for. And
yeah,
I'm just like,
the second wave of the coup is going to be Jimmy Dore trying to take over as like a populist party, and like just scoop all these queuers in and be like, "Hello, everybody that's angry and identifies as like middle class because I identify with you," and like all those working class people. Nah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, that's extremely true. That is
okay. Now,
fully accurate.
I just hate working and being a part of work. So I understand not wanting to empathize with it. However, I am also poor. So challenges,
Right.
Yeah, we're all trying our best. So
I just said that's not what I'm doing. Form of work.
Yeah, we're not working to make it work.
Something else. You're right.
No, we're not working. Trying our best doesn't mean working necessarily.
Well, that's why Kanye, of course, would theoretically be hooking up with Jeffree Star because all he knows is like getting weird relationship with makeup brand face moguls.
No, you should just stop there with makeup brand. I think that actually pretty much sums it up.
It's not a marriage. It's more of a partnership with this specific brand.
I just want to give it up to my bottom bitch, Estee Lauder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't like to use that word. That's not appropriate, but colloquialism. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, right. I guess beta. Could you say beta? Because that's kind of what like the right-wing equivalent is.
I believe the understanding is one's bottom bitch is in fact the closest to one's heart. The one that is the most true to oneself and actually.
Oh, really?
Again, look at me. I'm wearing a tie. I may not know fucking anything about this because it is cultural.
God. We live in strange times.
What?
Including the second weird thing to happen this week, which was the dude who does the opening song that used to be the opening song of My Brother and Me, like the most famous podcast, period. It turns out to be a massive racist and also an anti-Semite, which was wild to see. And it all started over a can of beans. This dude literally ruined his career rather than open a can of beans for his daughter. Discuss.
I'm going to come here with the hot take.
Okay.
It's a funny anecdote. I appreciate that from a lot, like his character. Like, so having listened to, I listened to one of the podcasts, a couple of podcasts that he is on, and I'm kind of moved a lot off of that because I'm not that attached to it. But ultimately, the character of grumpy old man dad is absolutely in line with his voice. And my kid's dumb is a funny bit. Kids are dumb. That it went poorly on him is there is more to this question, but I think that somebody got bored and said, look at this guy abusing it. It's like, this guy's not abusing his kid. This guy is fucking making a joke about his kid being dumb. And so like the initial impulse to me was very much I'm sorry, what is the problem?
Absolutely.
It's kind of just a mean-spirited, funny story about parenting. You're mean to your kid. You have told these.
The problem is that someone like that is using Twitter as their platform, and Twitter doesn't have tag groups. First of all, like the ideal way to make that post is to put it in your notebook and then type it all out and then screenshot that and then deep fry that through whatever deep fry app you use, and then post it to your parenting Facebook group so that, you know, half the people can be like, haha, this is so funny. And then half the people can tag that one group. It's like that child did not say that. And then that's just what it is.
Right.
And then you get like, you know, 3 million impressions out of it or whatever the fuck. And your life goes on.
Or it's a what's it called? The weekly, the McSweeney's. It's a McSweeney's article.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it were any of those, that would be great. But as far as we can tell from the way he responded to being criticized for it, it was actually sincere, which is insane.
the first mistake of tweeting.
He has issued an actual apology where it is not a sorry you guys got offended apology. And he does acknowledge the criticisms raised. And I mean, looking at the posts that are made, don't say fucking specific. There are words you definitely don't say. There are ethoses you do not espouse, or even ironically get close to touching. Right.
Like ironic racism is still racism.
Like, I think that Bean Dad is not a great person for having done this, but I think that the characterization of anti-Semite and racist is probably needlessly over the line, right? Because I don't think he actually has. I mean, I'm willing to be wrong.
Said a lot of I blame
engage with it.
Like he said, I blamed the Jews verbatim more than once. So I feel like, you know, to what extent is that sincere? To what extent is that problematic? I can tell you, as a Jewish person, anti-Semites don't give a shit whether you meant it. Like,
sure. And to take the language from his apology, it is he calls it youthful edgelording, where he reclaiming this language, and I appreciate that is not an adequate approach, but I do believe this is what he thinks. Like, he's saying these words because we're taking the sting out of them, which I don't again is not a solid theory of linguistic politics. But it's not him being actively anti. He is not the Proud Boys we saw on Wednesday, right? And but also did he dodge a fucking cancellation bullet, huh? Because we're the only ones talking about him anymore. This is it.
Yes, this is the last one. Because of course, immediately after both of these happened, there was a fucking coup attempt. I guess they didn't succeed, so it wasn't actually a coup, but it was.
A coup attempt is still we charged the attempted crime when we. I mean, not to be a too legal pedantry about it, but we do charge the attempted crime.
I mean, and I recognize somebody did point out, like, there's a difference between murder and attempted murder. That's fair. That's true. Whatever. You know, I don't care to miss words about this one. A large group of armed, right-wing, insurgent, QAnon cultists broke into the Capitol building with the intention of causing bodily harm to candidates or to elected officials, and for the purpose of undemocratically installing their leader. That is a coup.
Yeah.
If they had succeeded, it would be a coup.
And then when they arrived, they were like, you know, where the reinforcement? Where's everybody that's gonna, you know, die for this cause? And then they went, oh shit, wait, we're supposed to die for this cause.
It's
and
okay.
And then they were like,
any reinforcements either. We're even.
No. Then they're like, hey, all the cops that let us in here and walked around with us, can you also show us the way back out of here?
Can you point me in the direction of Chuck Schumer's office? I'd like to ask him a question. Oh, sure, armed nitwit. Let me point your. And they did. They gave him directions.
There's so much. Yeah. I totally forgot that we had like dug through Bean Dad's tweets all the way back to like 2009 Twitter Bean Dad.
Yeah, like that's kind of the thing with that.
Just because
2009 Twitter was a very different place.
That
it's
is
not
true
still, but it's a very different place.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have certainly held some beliefs that were extremely problematic in my past, and I take full ownership of them. You know, I believed things that were really shitty at one point in my life. And when I believed those things, I behaved in ways that were informed by those beliefs that were shitty. You know, once I figured out that those things were shitty, you know, and used my baseline level of human decency and willingness to talk to other people and believe them, I was able to improve. You know, I've gotten better. But
and now you've word searched your Facebook account to make sure that stuff doesn't just like pop back up again. On accident.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, and I'm sure if somebody ever gets like if somebody goes to the very back of my posts, I'm sure they'll find something to cancel me with. But I try to head them off. I'll like repost my own terrible posts from the past and say, here's what I learned and why I don't believe this.
Your Hillary takes from you in 2016 were fucking hilarious this election.
God, the black pilling of Rachel Kahn. As
all right,
just
I'll
character
watch the 30-minute
arc.
version of that. I don't know if I can stand it for a full 90 minutes of the black pilling of Rachel Kahn, but I'll watch the Reader's Digest episodes.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a process to get here, you know, and a lot of that process was just watching really, really closely.
I'm working on, hey, are you a white old guy? Yeah, so fucking shut up. Don't leave everyone alone. I mean, it's really, it's not that easy, but yeah, it actually is just that easy a lot of the time. Hey, there's like 8 words you're never allowed to say that used to be in real common parlance with your folks. Don't do it. Cool. WASPs, here we are. We can do this, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
so anyway, Capitol Hill. Oh wait, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna try to like transition it back. We were so busy on the Being Dead stuff, and then this kind of like perfect storm happened. This is all stuff that I assumed that we were all kind of like, yeah, this is probably gonna happen. I didn't realize that they were doing the certification of the vote. I didn't realize that there was also a rally happening. I knew that the Proud Boys were getting ready to do stuff, but I was kind of like out of the loop because New Year's stuff has all happened. And it's like we went from dissecting someone's life to being like, oh shit, Hassan has 200,000 viewers right now, and we're all watching like these people march in and out of the Capitol building.
Right.
And
what's the fun? These things were absolutely like everyone was calling this like. All the QAnon journalists were calling this. All the right-wing militia journalists were calling this. I shared an article, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, God damn it, what's his name? It's written on the top of an article team. Robert Evans wrote an article basically outlining that all this was going to happen on the 5th. Like he wrote this article from Bellingcat is how the insurgent and MAGA right are being welded together on the streets of DC, January 5th, 2021. He basically explains what's about to happen tomorrow, and he does a very good job because it's real fucking obvious.
I mean, yeah, they were not at any point like hiding their intentions.
Well, they don't.
In as much as they're ever even able, right?
They don't have to have OPSEC because nobody cares. I mean, they know law, and now they know law enforcement doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most just awful thing I saw was that one video of the police just letting that guy in. Like NBD, or not letting that guy in, but letting like all of those people in. There's the guy who was like waving people in. Yeah. That was totally egregious. And I mean, we've been saying this for ages, right? We've been telling people for ages, like, hey, the cops are on their side, right? This is not like a new idea.
That was the FBI in 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not like new shit. Yeah.
Everybody heard about this and then just didn't do anything about it. Like, I guess everybody just kind of assumed that somebody else would take care of it. And now here we are where, these people broke into the Capitol building fully intending to like kidnap and or kill elected representatives. And the police let them in on purpose.
And like, what's the fallout of that now? Like, nothing.
I think Capitol Police or the Metro Police, I forget which, their chief has resigned because he did a shitty job. They didn't even run a threat assessment. Everyone said, "Hey, do you need help?" They said, "No, we're good. These are our guys. These are our guys."
Yeah, right.
There are reports of a bunch of them and having flashed military and police ID badges to the cops to sort of like, "Oh no, I can come. I'm good. You can try. We're together." They're like, "No, you are not. We are." Well, yeah, I guess we are. Come on in. And they were given stand down orders because I mean, some of those videos you're like watching this cop retreat up a stairwell with a police. I was like, you have a narrow stairwell and a police baton. Hit that first guy in the knee, kick him down. You've got the area under control.
Yeah. Well, and it's
sorry. I mean, like, not to be shitty. I'm not here for state violence, but I am here for equality.
Right. Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, we know that they are capable of those tactics because they use them on us. So we also know that they're intentionally not using them on them. And that's really like, that is the linchpin of the whole problem is it is not possible to safely push back against this kind of behavior when this behavior is the one that decides whether you go to prison, you know?
Because when Antifa shows up to fight these people, they get tear gassed.
Yes,
right?
well, and they did, I guess, eventually tear gas these protesters.
They would have had the National Guard already out on the steps if there was an Antifa protest.
Yes, and there's some really
established counter protest.
If there's a protest that threatened the standing order in any way, like all that this did was essentially break decorum. Like this, they didn't march in there and have demands. They didn't march and sit in the hallways and refuse to leave until the demands were met. Like they just they walked in, they milled around. A bunch of them were going to get charges for stealing mail and looking at. I'm so fucking pissed. I hope I can curse in this show.
It's a bit late for that.
Seeing them just like scrolling Nancy Pelosi's emails, I cannot believe that our federal government does not have. They don't like press Windows PL whenever
a big red button that says no. That's everybody's computers off.
Right.
Like yell evacuated. You should. I mean, like
something to kill the system, disconnect everything. I literally have a giant key switch. Oh well, you can't see it because my.
Well, I'm not going to ask.
I literally have a giant key switch that I can press, and this locks my windows. Like you just press that when you walk away from your desk. You don't leave your desk with your computer locked in.
I mean, I'm willing to let it slide on the individual fleeing danger, having been advised to evacuate.
This
true.
Is
IT's problem. This is a button they could have on servers, like on the help desk side of the federal government, which I'm sure I don't know how anything works.
Right.
But in theory, they could do this at my work. So I don't see what
they can install something on there that does it. They don't even need to use any of the Windows tools that they already have.
Yeah, time must exist.
Yeah. This is this worse than Benghazi? Can we finally get rid of Benghazi and just
I hope so. I hope we can report with Benghazi for this one. All right, so for folks who are just tuning in, this is a picture of the National Guard on the Capitol steps when a Black Lives Matter protest was happening earlier.
I believe this was actually on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. I do not know if I know that they were on the Capitol steps as well, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's oh no, you didn't get it right. It's they were on the Capitol steps too.
Right, slightly different steps, whatever. So they were on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial when the Black Lives Matter protesters were like, this is the kind of response we got. And I would even say, like, if they were in front of the Lincoln Memorial, that's like even less important than the physical living human beings that are inside the Capitol.
It's symbolically funnier.
It is funnier. That is true. They put more energy into defending this like statue against left-wing protesters than they put into defending all of Congress against right-wing protesters. Which is just
a statue that of the things on the mall that you might vandalize as a in theory violent left-wing protest. I feel like the Lincoln Memorial just isn't the fucking one, team.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of other statues.
That's a fire.
A lot of other statues out there that I might be more inclined to paint the hands red on. Not Abe Lincoln though.
Yeah, right.
All the presidents were going to give a pass and have a giant statue. This has got to be it, right?
All the presidents suck with that one, especially.
Right, but like it's so
they didn't they did secure the electoral votes. They got the people out and into safe rooms or whatever. Journalists made it out of there. But
watching the Stop the Steal crew, they are very aware of these dates because, like the QAnon process, and again, thanks Travis View for all the shit I know about this. Your work and the work of countless other researchers on this have been vital because otherwise CNN would just be saying, it's Antifa anarchists, and would have no idea how to deal with any of this. Because I mean, if you don't, it's maddening. Like they believe child sex pedophiles run the world, drinking adrenochrome made from those babies, which again is a drug you can synthesize and isn't very much fun, which they then give to the entire world global elite from Nancy Pelosi to Tom Hanks, and this entire deep state cabal of Satanists runs literally everything. And then as a result, you can lock every other conspiracy theory onto it, which is why you have all the weird wine moms who are like, oh, well, I like crystals and woo. And they're like, well, you know why they won't give you crystals? It's because of the deep state cabal's connection to big pharma.
Yeah.
And thus your thing is now their thing. and you're now part of the Q crew. 5G. Well, that's also the Satanist deep state cabal. Doing the same. Also doing something. Again, they think there's 500,000 children being disappeared every year, which a lot of people go missing, but they're not being kept underground. They're at Epstein. Like, they also ignore that. Like, they can't handle Epstein and any of that sort of mentally. They don't view that as the thing. Like,
that's why they got rid of it.
Can we start here? People who knowingly hang out with Mr. Teenager Sex Plane.
Mr. Teenager Sex Plane?
Well, I mean, okay, so
that's the name of his first album.
My question has always been, does Donald Trump not know the name of the plane is distasteful because he has not read Lolita?
That's probably.
Is it something else?
I mean, it's probably both, right? I think it's both that he would not pick up on it in the case of it, like, I'm going to take this off for a second while I get this back going. So I think it's like a mixture of, like, he is not literate enough to know, like, that it is a Lolita reference. And also, even if he did, he would not care. He'd probably find it funny and be like, oh, that's clever. Haha. Because, he's like pathologically evil and has never met a single terrible thing he was not into doing. So I also have
like Amos from The Expanse, but if Amos just had no moral standard to measure himself by.
I love The Expanse a whole lot, including but not limited to Amos specifically.
Oh, you're not that guy.
We're all Amos Sims, okay?
Yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah.
So
what you got for us? Is this a video queue you've got set up?
Yeah, it is. I've got this set up. I need to figure out what window I have it open in because I'm trying to share it.
We're going to react to TikToks from the Capitol building.
Right. All right.
It's a very online movement. Then the keg flags and the Pepe stuff is all very prominent on a bunch of that photographs, which is like weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally like, famous right-wing streamers. Baked Alaska was out there, like saying, "Hi, here's my name, here's my home address. I'm here. I'm at this place. We're doing it."
Yes, and this is the police, as you can see, just like actively welcoming people in to this.
There are already people inside too. Like,
I hate how much of this fucking coup happens in profile, and I mean in portrait mode.
I know.
It's so maddening to me.
Listen, not everybody can simultaneously be broadcasting an actual coup and thinking about their shot. That is a special gift, and they get paid extra money for that. But yeah, I mean, no, I think this illustrates the problem really well, right? That previous picture we had was of the National Guard on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and this massive amount of force. And then here we see like cops wearing sort of their basic gear, just actively letting people in because they don't think of them as the enemy.
When they don't have the capacity, they didn't come prepared to stop them at all, which is many say very intentional because they didn't do a threat assessment, which they do for everybody else that shows up.
Right.
And they didn't bring any hardware. So when it came time to, we can't just pepper spray this 1,000 people because we don't have a big enough pepper spray. Yeah. We didn't bring the big can, fellas.
They were using pepper spray at some point. There is video of them
but it's not the fucking big ass riot cans of bear spray.
And it's not a massive line of federal officers in full kit with their shields down. It's guys with their shields up with a little tiny, personal canister of pepper spray, just like spraying people. It's so embarrassing. I don't know if you're going to transition this into,
Jig and jelly, because that's exactly what I'm transitioning us into.
Lovely.
Yeah. So we also have, and the picture of this y'all can't see is amazing. It's captioned Getty Horn Guy, just in case you wanted to know.
The Q shaman.
Yeah.
Say what?
Is this the Q shaman?
Yes, this is the Q shaman. This guy, his name is Jake Angeli. He is a big leader, as it turns out, in the QAnon movement.
He's 3.5 years ago. This guy was just a normal wook.
Yes,
he was
exactly.
Just a regular fucking festival party kid. Probably had great drugs. It was kind of boring to talk to after a minute, but it's fine.
Yeah, all the hippies that you would hang out with that were like free thinkers and like kind of had some weird thoughts about government, but like you didn't think about it
to click it all together. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're all like, well, you know, we all need to like come together and have like a new like some sort of like American, you know, project that we're working on so that we all just, you know, vibe or whatever we said back then.
Yeah.
You know, so we all just vibe together so that we can, you know, we can work together as people. And he's getting these tattoo artists that end up doing this. I like the Hammurabi's law for this.
Right.
If your art shows up on a white supremacist, you get your hand cut off.
Oh God. Yeah. You know what? I'm here for it. Actually, that's the one time I'll be in favor of like a carceral state, is specifically cutting people's hands off if they put white supremacists on them.
Hey, that's not a carceral state because you don't have to build a jail.
Oh gosh,
not how it works. I know.
Oh goodness.
No, don't worry. Not that purely literalist. Thanks.
Yeah. There's also this lovely fellow here. I can find.
And you can tell. And so, like, I've had some intermingling with the burner community, but there is it is a special breed of them that have the megaphone.
Yes, and you can see this dude is just showing out. He's covered in tattoos, most of which are racist, a lot of which are Viking. And this is like a thing for people who don't know what white supremacists are like into. They're extremely into Vikings and like paganism and sort of like pre-Christian theologies, in no small part because they hate the Jews. And they've bought into this, you know, frankly, bullshit narrative of Judeo-Christian values, and therefore can no longer be Christian because that's Jewish. These people are like sincerely dangerous. And in spite of how ridiculous this guy looks, like I'm 100% sure he would just kill somebody if it came down to it. He has that kind of energy, you know?
Yeah, you don't follow this guy out to the porta potties alone at 4 a.m. while you're both frying. You leave him with the group and you take a partner with you to go to the bathrooms. Also,
and you see if the rest of the group can do the same, and then eventually it's just him standing there, and the rest of you are somewhere else.
Exactly. Right. Also, Jake Angeli, Italian American last name. You had your own fascists. You don't have to go around reclaiming other ones.
Oh gosh, I mean, you know, that is true. Also, inexplicably, there's like a contingent of weirdos on the left who are talking about how hot he is. And like, listen, I understand there are some legitimately attractive evil people. This guy, though, like, this is what does it for you.
When you've trained your brain to only like the bad guy in animes that you watch, you know, suddenly you're confronted in real life with it. You're like, I'm a slave. I'm a slave to my impulses.
Yeah. See, I internalized that and just became extremely bisexual for like the queer-coded women villains. And that's sort of how I ended up.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I mean, like, there's the like anti-hero archetype is basically a Jewish bisexual woman, like in a nutshell. And obviously I identified with this. So those are the people I ended up like lusting after.
Yeah.
Anyway. We are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we are going to engage in some high degree shenanigans. We're going to make fun of the people who want to have sex with this white supremacist. And then at the end of the episode, make sure to stick around because we are going to play a special Is It Cringe? We are going to rank the Capitol Hill deaths for which one is the most cringeworthy. We will be right back. we're back. We also have with us April and John. And I'm sorry, I completely forgot to introduce y'all at the beginning of this episode. We also have Zach from Psychic Dolphin Garage and Paul from Critical Bits, and also the new show we're working on together, Gay Space Communism. Everybody is cool and great. We are coming back to the scene to talk first about why anybody would say Jake Angeli, the horns guy from the Capitol building, is attractive. Whether he's attractive, whether it makes you a bad person to find them attractive, and what you can do about it if you do. And then at the end of the episode, stick around because we are going to be doing a special version of Is It Cringe, where we rank the Capitol Hill deaths and scientifically determine which one of them was the most cringe. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
I think the best thing we can do to start with is just sort of give a brief rundown of who this Jake Angeli guy is. Does anybody who's not me want to take that?
Nice.
I don't know.
I mean,
Cool.
we could talk. Yeah. So this is the Q Shaman. He, again, like I said, he started off about 3.5 years ago, because none of this was happening till then. Because it's a very weird amalgamation of conspiracy theories that just, again, we talked about it all matched together.
Well,
like
back then it was
fallacy.
Back then it was too dangerous to speak out. It was only until 3.5 years ago when Q had the bravery to step up and finally say what needed to be said.
Who could say why that might be? In any case, right? This guy's just some wook. He has a weird Instagram channel. He's hanging around, being an oddball, doing weird shit. I mean, he is ultimately attached to a lot of these Norse pieces. He may well be his own brand of racist, but he's certainly become so now. He was born in 1988, which makes him 32 years old this year. Graduated Moon Valley High School. All right. Hippie.
So what you're saying is I still have time to get on his level. That much older than me. It's like when you find out that, like, Lady Gaga was like 9 when she released The Fame, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm only 35. I still got time to be a celebrity.
For real.
Vermin Supreme is an ageless deity, so no matter how high you get up there, you'll always have the time to be Vermin Supreme.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki was 104 years old when he made his first movie.
Again, 2019, he's an environmental activist.
An eco-fascist?
No, regular old fucking hippie dumb bullshit.
So among the other
like, not
things
necessarily
that
hippie dumb bullshit, but like he is. So like it is actually like less. I mean, and these are not incompatible beliefs, but don't paint baby in a corner. All right, these people are wide and varied, and you underestimate them at your peril.
Well, and among other things, he has talked about some stuff that just sounds like he's done so much acid he fried his brain. Like, he talks about, like, seeing interdimensionally and stuff like that. And, like, very, like you were saying, wookie stuff. I
mean, we've all been there. We've all seen the time sphere. And then, like, we came down and we were like, okay, so we saw the time sphere, but, like, we've moved on past it.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you're tomorrow, and I continue to live in the prime material plane, regardless of my interest in any other.
Exactly. Like, we don't talk about it. You put it in a box. Box goes over here. That was fun. It doesn't become like this thing that you have to start exploring because it's meaningless. And you try to put
magic component too, or like, well, I don't actually have to follow a tradition. I just do whatever.
Yeah. Then you start like throwing like, weird occult. You go find, Baby's first occult book. You get like an altar and you start doing tarot cards. And then
you buy a pack of tarot cards, but you never get around to opening them.
There you go.
Complicated, y'all.
Right.
Yeah. It's too difficult to actually stick to like, some sort of set of beliefs because it doesn't actually fit because you're not doing anything profound or sacred. You're just
believe any of these things are real. You just think you're magic and that's good enough.
And you speak like an expert on the tarot, but you only know everything about it from playing Persona. So
Oh, that'll be good though, because I can't wait for Persona 5S. I'm excited for that.
It's gonna be good.
Anyway, that's different podcast.
So, I don't know. Do y'all think
not?
Hot or not for this guy?
No.
He's bald, isn't he? Like, I mean, not to be. I'm sorry. That's not the end all be all, but like, it's not.
What a thing to lead with, Paul.
Don't let the hood fool you. He's like that beard, like it says jawline. I don't see it there.
You're
And
saying
that
it's
hood
not that
comes
he's
up to the front.
So you think he's just a big fat faker? Is what
so
you're
it's
saying.
not that he's bald.
Doing the best with what he's got.
It's not that he's bald so much as that he's bald in a cowardly fashion.
Yeah. Like,
I think the initial impression of the guy in the bear thing does not capture the face you'll be touching. You know?
Yeah, you have to be pretty insecure to overcompensate for your baldness with like an entire raccoon.
Yeah. He looks taller than everyone else in that room because the horns are specifically like give him a little bit of elevated stature.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he leaves it on while he's fucking?
He's got a little chin strap for it to get him buckle in.
Yeah.
All right, baby.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, the horns would be pretty good for that. They're good handles, but
yeah. He has two giant holes in the drywall above his bed.
Yeah.
Rachel, I'm gonna send you. I'm trying to drop you the at least a link to this image.
Okay, I'm ready.
Of this guy.
Is it in the private chat?
It is.
He looks like a dork.
Like
if you put this man next to Hassan,
That's
if you
what I'm
shave
saying.
Hassan's beard, Hassan has like, jawline and he just like flexes on stream all the time. This guy was just shirtless. Like I guess if
he
that's
works
what
out,
you're going for.
Like, at least he works out more than I do. But
yeah,
that's not a huge statement. Like the number of push-ups I've done in my entire life does not reach the number of 100. I don't believe.
Yeah,
the main thing that I'm thinking here is that if you shaved the beard off, took off all of the stupid clothing, and dressed him in like a fleece button-up and put him in a gas station, there would be 4 people identical to him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
When you're right, April. I mean, yeah, this guy, he's a type of guy, right? He's sincerely a type of guy. Everybody has their own type of guy.
Show the viewers the that's the too pretty picture. Show them the real thing.
We're showing the uglier.
The one that also kind of lets you know what picture he thinks is a good idea to take.
Okay.
This appears to be his stage selfie.
Okay, let me see if I can find. Yes, this one, which is very bad.
Yeah,
extremely bad. Yeah,
it's cool to get glamour shots from like professional photographers with like $30,000 cameras while you're in the Capitol building with all the pretty, decor around you or whatever.
But this is just him, snapping one for because you can the arms out. You can see this is a selfie hold, or at least
he's trying to make himself.
This is the version of his face he finds the most appealing, is what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
He could be molded into a 6 with enough effort.
Yeah,
it's not there.
It's not horrible, but don't leave the initial image. That's all. Everyone looks cool when they're storming the halls of power. Even I don't know. Like
he's holding his arms up to make him look bigger for the journalists to scare them away.
Making loud noises. Yeah.
Somebody said, and I love the aesthetic, which is they describe the aesthetic as National Lampoon Storms Versailles, which it 100% is.
I do like how he has the Dreamcatcher behind him in a sort of Renaissance Halo fashion.
Yeah, this is his picture of him for us to. Yeah, that's
it's like that one shot from Knives
still
Out.
there too, though. I appreciate that safety concern.
Yeah. There's not even a cover on the hatchet. What if he hurts himself?
That's a tomahawk, friend.
Oh, I'm sorry, fair.
Oh, see, he's got
not a tomahawk. It's a peace pipe. Look, it's got the little hole on the back end.
And
he's smoked out of that. 100%. He's smoked out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The talent from Jurassic Park.
100% chance he did smoke out of it. Yes. Also, 100% chance this dude binge watches Forged in Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like he never turns this off. He has never in his life turned off Forged in Fire. Actually.
As somebody who's seen a lot of episodes of Forged in Fire, I can't even blame him. Is the only thing. Like even the stop clock is right twice a day.
Okay, like I know and hang out with metalworkers a lot. It's actually cooler in person, and then this actual work happens, and you only hear me describe it, and I'm a little funnier than most of the announcers.
Yeah.
Not only because I'm meaner about almost all of it.
I'm just imagining he has the word like peyote on his like knuckles, tattooed on his knuckles, but spelled wrong, so it takes up all 8 fingers. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that it's spelled wrong. Yeah.
I spell like P-A-Y-O-E, peyote, because you gotta pay me, Odie. All right.
He's also not in on the joke. He also does not know that it's spelled wrong.
God.
All right.
So okay.
I mean, yeah, he's fuckable-ish, I guess. Work at it. John's right. You got to push him to 6.
So do you think
who religiously plays Crusader Kings?
Ooh.
Yeah. So aside from this type of guy specifically, like there are other sort of hot politician types, right? Who are evil.
Yes.
One I think of like just off the dome, like
Madison Cawthorn is one that you've mentioned before.
Yeah, Madison Cawthorn is one. I'll pull up a picture of him. Who else is like a problematic, attractive person? I mean, it kind of started with like Richard Spencer, right? Not to say that I find him particularly attractive, but like that was the first person where they were like, oh, he's a Nazi and he's attractive. Look at how well dressed he is, you know? And like in a real way, kind of made this weird moment where people are sort of thirsting after like Nazi aesthetic again.
Okay, the boots are tall and that's fun, but otherwise it's not really. There's not a lot to it. Yeah.
I mean,
you can get boots fucking anywhere. You can go to the fucking equestrian store and get boots. There's no need to pick up a whole ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have horsetown.com like all over Atlanta. You can just go there.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. You have like Abby Shapiro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Or like,
all right, that's
again,
got.
This is a gas station man. This is a gas station man.
Yes, he's absolutely a gas station man. I was also programmed, and you got to keep this in mind because I was born and raised in the Deep South. I have been programmed since birth to marry one of those. Like that's what I'm supposed to be marrying. And I am in this weird space where simultaneously I am attracted to this person physically and also repulsed not just by this person's politics, but by my capacity to still find this person physically good looking. It's really disappointing for
Listen,
myself.
everybody thought Sephiroth was the hottest character in Final Fantasy VII, so like, it's a tale as old as time.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, now I have 2 things. 1, Red 13, shut up. 2, what's a gas station man?
It's
it's like
a guy
type
you see at a gas
guy.
station.
Like think like truck stop gas station.
Yeah.
Like there's a specific type of guy who, for whatever reason, is always like hanging around in a gas station parking lot for no discernible reason, just like smoking cigarettes. He's been there since like 8 a.m. He's got like a couple of buddies with him, and that's just like where they're hanging out. It's very much like a class-oriented thing. You know, it's like a working class white guy kind of.
No, I get you now. I'm sorry. I being an in-town Atlanta man, gas station guy's got just any number of but I am very familiar with the denizens of the Love's truck stops and assorted various facilities on the highway systems of the United States.
And it's a very regional thing too. Like a Bostonian gas station guy is very different than a Montanan gas station guy.
Oh no, I'm sure there's a whole Audubon Society grade level of deviation we could get into here.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, the Audubon guide to the gas station guy. You know.
So,
what's your life list? What are you doing? The migrations this week. They're doing Sturgis.
God, that's what 7-Eleven should be selling us is just their full guide. For traveling the United States.
The guy guide.
Yeah,
no, it's not even.
Dudes rock.
You just go and get your stamps at every one of them. And like, hey, come on down. You're like, oh, cool. I went to all the national parks and all of the gas station guys.
That should be the Not Safe for Wonks book. We should publish like a bird watching guide, but it's a guy watching guide.
That's a good idea.
We can call it the Pokédex for guys.
I think you mean Brokeydex.
The Brokeydex. There we go.
Yeah.
But it works on a lot of levels.
We can have submissions. We can have submissions come in for regional guys.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because there really do just be a lot of guys, a lot of types of guys.
Read us your guys.
Yeah.
Send us your guys. Your,
Yeah,
your gas
send us
station
whatever
guys.
comments
Give us,
now.
give us some stats. Give us
You
some
can have, like,
a little
Soil
Identifying-
and soil and sunlight requirements to make sure you're growing the best guys depending on where you live. You know.
Yes.
We could have a little check mark thing at the back of the book where you could check off which guys you've seen.
yeah,
compare with your friends.
it's exactly.
I'm in a
like
Discord server for trading guys.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm in all my.
I've got a Los
Oh,
Angeles
yeah.
gas station guy. Do you have like a North Dakota oil worker guy?
Ooh, sorry, no. Best I can do is so what he does, he cleans out the septic tanks at the RV place, but he is very oily.
Ooh.
Mm.
I got the Michigan Millwright. Anybody got a duplicate of that one?
I'll look.
I have a bunch of misprints. That ended up. Some of the corners clipped off.
This is a gas station gay, which he's also very popular, but it's just not the.
That's
not
the
same.
sequel.
Hey,
God. I love the gas station gays in Midtown, though.
see again,
Midtown-
it's a different kind of gas station guy wherever you go.
Yeah, I guess really it's just like, these are the common spaces where we see other types of people most often. I want to bring it back around a little bit. So, of course, in response to some people inexplicably finding Jake Angeli attractive, there has been a bit of a fervor online. People are questioning whether being attracted to somebody like that, physically speaking, says something bad about you as a person. What do y'all think? Is there a person who is so evil that thinking they're attractive reflects evil onto you?
No.
Stop. No, this is very unimportant. I just saw an important thing.
Okay.
Olive Garden has just revoked Sean Hannity's Never Ending Pasta Pass because of his complicity in the Capitol.
Finally, justice.
Salute to the Garden Council.
Whatever dumb shit y'all are talking about, stop. This is Olive Garden's world.
Oh, see, this is it's like cancel culture exists in lieu of actual justice. In lieu of any punishment for the remainder of Sean Hannity's crimes, we must look to Olive Garden and the rest of the Darden restaurant franchises to bring us any sense of closure and reconciliation.
They're also revoking the never-ending pasta pass for every single person that has been arrested and identified from this Capitol coup that happened to have a never-ending
Imagine it's 10 fucking years from now. Imagine it's 10 fucking years from now and you're on a Tinder date with a guy and you're at Olive Garden and you're like, oh shit, they got the breadsticks here? They got the never-ending breadsticks? And he's like, I'm very sorry, but 10 years ago, I tried to storm the U.S. Capitol, so I can't have unlimited breadsticks.
No, they make you go to every Olive Garden in the area when you move in. Hi. The state of California is required to tell me to tell you, the manager of this Olive Garden, that I was involved in an attempted coup.
They're making a reboot of The Big Lebowski with the Jesus. That's going to be the new plot line.
That's
no,
amazing.
there is. I can't. This is can't John Turturro do anything? He's regular. Just let him do his own movie instead of the one where he's the pedophile bowler. What the fuck, America?
It was
No,
funny.
they're doing.
He's fun at everything, though.
In the
He's good at
character.
everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait to call them later today and order a plate of fettuccine antifascista.
Yes. Oh God, it's gonna be so good because it just comes with extra Parmesan on it. They already know. Because they assume we're all high correctly. I could not if I went to an Olive Garden, it would absolutely be stoned. That's necessary prerequisite to eat that kind of
What are those restaurants called? Olive Garden, Applebee's. What is that echelon of restaurant?
Fast casual. Oh, I'm sorry. Casual dining. Fast casual is fast foods purview, but
that's
casual dining.
Those are the Darden family of restaurants, the Red Lobsters of the world. I mean, it's just a chain restaurant.
Yeah, it's a kitchen, is what it is.
There's got to be a section in the guy guide for types of guys you see.
Oh no, there's dudes getting hammered at every variant of Darden restaurant bar that you do not want to talk to.
There's two chapters for the Darden restaurants.
I stopped when I was traveling for construction all the time. It was all in the South too. You would you would have to make a conscious choice. Am I going to go to the bowling alley tonight and get fucked up, or am I going to go to the Applebee's tonight and get fucked up? And it depends on what kind of guy you want to see.
You know?
What kind of dude you're going to go hang out with.
The guy can help you plan out your evening.
Yeah.
You know how there's like a vaccine now?
For what?
Is there a vaccine?
I've been told.
Gas station guy?
I've heard that Andrew Cuomo would fine you. I've heard that Andrew Cuomo will fine you $6,000 for saying the word vaccine in public right now.
Oh my god! Seriously? I'm kidding, but you know, I can see it though. It's plausible. He is that fragile for sure.
He's also just like, this is the most wild somehow he managed to have one of the most wildly mismanaged legs of the COVID epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being a key player and fucking this up.
No,
there's so much this to fuck up. Imagine fucking up a lot of it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna restore faith in American leadership. Like how?
So what were we talking about 10 minutes ago?
Well, we were talking about not wanting to. Why it's weird to fuck people that are evil, or to what is it wrong to find the evil attractive?
Honestly, yeah, it's fine. I think we all agree on this one. Being physically attracted to somebody is like a purely chemical thing. You have basically no control over it. You only control your actions. Don't have sex with fascists. Mm-hmm. Also, maybe just don't go to like Twitter and tell everybody how hot you think they are. That's what makes it weird.
It is really a horny cult. I'm supportive of sexuality, but horny jail. Yeah, let's put them there. Let's put people there. Come on.
You know, I'm a horny person abolitionist, but also I agree. Just like we used to have diaries for these things that you didn't curate for thousands of people to read. You could just write it on a little book and keep it in your room that you want to get railed by Alex Jones, and it's fine.
Or you just
nobody has to know, but you and the Lord.
You just tell him. I mean,
but yeah, our last topic, unless Rachel wants to intro it, is,
I'm going to go ahead and swing into it. Yeah. So in addition to, all of these sort of whimsical antics, 5 people died, which is bigger than the death count at any of the summer protests, actually bigger than the death count of all of the summer protests combined.
Well, yeah, because the cops were shooting to kill this time.
Yes.
This is mostly their fault.
Yeah, but actually they mostly killed each other is the thing, right? Like one person was killed by the police. Everybody else died in sort of hilariously cringy ways.
And one police officer was killed too.
And that actually looks really horrible. The video of that is awful, and we're going to leave them off the list. Let's just move on. Let's make this not judge themselves. It's really sad, actually.
Yeah, I didn't see that video. I'm not going to watch that video. I did watch the one of the woman who got shot by the police. The question for how cringe is that one? We're going to back pocket it, and at the end, we'll sort of decide collectively by consensus. But that woman, she was actively trying to climb through a window in a door that was at the last juncture before they were going to get to actually the representatives themselves and the people in the building. And when the angry mob broke through the glass, she vaulted up onto it like she was going to jump through it. The police shot her in the chest. She fell back. It was very clearly because she did this that she got shot. I don't know what she was thinking in that moment, but I am actually reasonably confident in this case that shooting that person was justified. However, if you're going into the situation expecting they're on your side, presumably getting shot by them is a pretty jarring experience.
Wait a minute.
And so that woman... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to segue to another guy who died in the protest, which was that... I don't know if it's the most cringe, but it's definitely the funniest. He tased his own balls accidentally.
So, okay, that one...
And it's not just that. He's stealing a picture of Tip O'Neill while he does it. Imagine, Tip O'Neill.
Okay, so...
Well, he got his tip all right. But
this one is unconfirmed, and I tried to find the evidence of it, and I couldn't. Have any of y'all actually seen evidence for this one, or is this just an unsubstantiated rumor?
I really hope it's true. I really fucking hope it's true.
The article seemed to speak to that he died of a heart attack due to his taser discharging repeatedly into his body, but I do not believe that we will be getting the funniest version of this story from the regular media, and I'm going to have to rely on the original reporting because I don't. Again, they're not going to make Anderson Cooper say balls that much.
That is true.
Can we pull up a picture of Tip O'Neill? Because, like, looking at him, I would steal that guy's picture. I would steal that guy's painting. That's a cool-looking guy.
Tragically stuck down.
How do you figure? Okay, I'll just pull up the painting itself. This is probably the.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to channel Anderson Cooper talking about this. Tragically struck down by a taser in his own ball sack.
And so, while actually, would one of y'all mind pulling up a link for that for me, and we'll just sort of keep chugging along, so people don't have to watch me look a thing up, and we'll put it up.
Sure, I am doing it now.
Yeah. So obviously, the police officer and the woman who was shot in the chest because she tried to vault over the door were the biggest sort of attention getters for people who died because they were both, homicides. The dude who may or may not have tasered himself in the dick is extremely funny. And frankly, even if it's not true, I have chosen to believe that it is true because that's funny.
Honestly, they get to do, they do so much just making up their own worldview that I think we get this one. I think we get to make up that this guy tased himself in the dick to death, whether or not it actually happened.
For this fucking painting.
It's Friday. We can pretend somebody died this way.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, sort of a common thread, right? Like 3 of these 5 deaths were self-inflicted or completely coincidental. So Benjamin Phillips obviously was the one that tased. Is that the one who tased himself? Is that right?
No,
Kevin.
That was Kevin somebody.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Kevin, I got it right here. Kevin Greason is the one who tased himself. Benjamin Phillips actually died of a stroke at the event. And then the last one is a woman actually from Kennesaw named something Boylan. Let me look it up real quick. I had it. And then
was she the one that got trampled?
You mean Roseanne Boylan, 34? The one who was trampled to death carrying a Gadsden flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very
She had one rule and they broke it.
Yes. Which is, I mean, that is some amazing irony. Was she quite literally trampled to death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, reportedly, but that's as much story as we can find. And yes, trampled to death seems like a thing that happens in this scenario because a bunch of nitwits are running around.
Well, yes, and also
others' personal safety.
Yeah, what can you expect with people like this? Because of course they would absolutely step on you for themselves. Like this is an entire group of that person. That's why you have to carry around a big yellow sign that says "Don't tread on me" because they love doing it.
True.
Her last words were "Read the sign." Don't make me tap the sign.
No. And I mean, the raw story reporting on this.
Tap the sign.
And the raw story reporting on this goes into her family being extremely sad about the way that she kind of fell down this rabbit hole, and it's very similar to a lot of stories a lot of people have about watching loved ones become obsessed with this. I mean, the guy who's I lost my father to Fox News. That article was like 15, 20 years ago, and it is the start, and you are seeing so much of it. Like it's
I think honestly the most cringe is probably the person that died of just a heart attack, and that's it. Like going to a protest, like you just got so excited, you stormed the Capitol.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
And that was it. And there's not even something funny about you. You don't even get like your 15 minutes of fame. You don't get like a fundraiser because you R.I.P. our brave patriot who was trying to tase, who had their taser turned on their own balls.
No, you were just a dog that got left outside on the 4th.
God, there's a lot of stairs in the rotunda. Wow, I didn't realize this was going to be such a thing.
The
morning of it was a lot funnier when we were just making fun of them for not knowing where to park.
Yeah.
True.
Oh God. I mean, I don't know. I think personally the most cringe is definitely like tasing yourself in the balls to death. Yeah. Like that's like you are quite literally physically cringing because you're electrocuting yourself, for one. For two, you're doing it to your own dick. You are quite literally tasing yourself in the dick until dead, which is just, these people, they bring these weapons with them ostensibly for self-defense, but routinely deploy them against innocent people. They were there to do a coup in the first place. every single one of their deaths is hilarious in its own right. I do think having a heart attack just for being there is pretty funny.
Yeah, probably not the most cringe because I can't consider the balls guy thing, which I considered like a gift from God.
Yes.
Like, that is like a sunbeam from heaven, and I dare not call it cringe for it to be
kind of like the rainbow after the flood, right? Like,
yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, that was our gift for surviving 2020.
I was watching this dude.
The world's most inept coup. Like,
let's take this slightly more seriously than it seems to merit.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, we ignore these fucking people at our peril. They are not. It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like
whole other world. It's full.
Yeah. No, I get that, and I don't want to say that as
no. Let's make fun of
waving this.
We're good. We get it. It's serious, but this is Friday, y'all. This is Friday. This is a shitpost show.
We've earned this.
We determined scientifically that tasing yourself in the balls is the funniest thing ever and cringiest way to die. It is the kind of comical death I would wish upon these people. Because, like, you know, I talk about this sometimes, like, I hope he falls down the stairs and poops himself and then dies in front of, like, everybody. Like, humiliated and sad. I would imagine tasing yourself in the dick is one of those deaths.
Did you hear that Caitlyn Bennett shit herself and did parkour to evade, like, fucking reporters when she was fleeing from the White House? And there's video of this. I'm going to pull the video.
Wait, shit herself
again?
Yes.
Okay, is it possible to call something the cringiest death if they don't die? Let's wait and find out.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on screen right now because we gotta end the show with this. This is incredible.
Please, April, thank God for this kind of journalism.
And while we are playing this out or playing ourselves out with this, I want to direct everybody to the various places you can give us money. Patreon.com/notsafe that supports our show. It also supports all of the shows you see on our bumper. It supports Zach's Psychic Dolphin Garage. It supports the show that Paul and I are doing, Gay Space Communism. It supports Hot Girl Agenda and Anti-Monday Action and Posada's Trap Gods show. Time of Monsters is on our network. We have like all of these just incredible shows. You should check out all of them.
Wait, there was like a website that you could just say the name of that would help them find a schedule.
Wait.
I'm sorry, that's a little disruptive. I apologize for bringing.
I want to take a note here: the completely unnecessary pipe swing.
Whoa!
She did not have to do this.
I feel like I've seen this before, and it was not real.
It gets her a little distance, though. That's not bad.
This has strong like body double energy. I'm skeptical of that one. Although I do listen, I choose to believe all of these things are real because at the end of the day, I want nothing but discomfort for these people and humiliation.
I feel like this was also like a Taylor Swift video too.
This is Mirror's Edge gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
New Assassin's Creed suck.
There it is.
Wow.
I mean, that's also in 2007 quality.
I'm always here to talk shit
about
Caitlyn. Anyway, that's it. I don't know why people watch this show, but thank you for doing it. Thank you all for being here with me. Zach, Paul, John, do you have any things you would like to plug?
The Psychic Dolphin Garage is Twitch streaming tonight at 7 Central.
Bad.
So join us there.
I'll plug that too. Wait, no, you're which way? Here you are.
Yeah.
I'll plug that too.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
And check out criticalbitcast.com. It's Earth's favorite teen superhero, corndog obsessed, body horror, comedy, narrative play podcast. We play a bunch of teen superheroes. We fight the cops. We do whatever weird shit. It's a lot of fun. We deal with gross body stuff. It's or if
really
you don't like
show.
it,
I've checked it out.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It is a show I have listened to on purpose and not just because Paul is my friend, which is like even
I do not ask of any of my friends. I say the thing, and if they're like, "Oh, that sounds fine," I'm like, "We'll never talk about it again." So,
yeah. I mean, Paul is one of my Paul is one of my enemies, and I still tune in for Critical Bit.
Hate each other.
I got that bad guy aesthetic. What do you want?
Thanks,
I'm
everybody.
hanging up on you people.
We'll talk
Goodbye.
later.